Welcome back to Alan Part 3, my lovely bug gang. We're going to continue this. This is called Incubus's Job. And I'm really interested in Alan's route so far. Oops. It's been really fascinating for me. It seems like he wants to protect Cupid, but also make her fall in love with one of the other guys. Because he's aware how ignorant of the world she is and how just unaware she is as Cupid and as a lady. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna keep going. This one is called Incubus's Job. I woke up feeling surprisingly refreshed. I couldn't remember the last time I'd slept so well, but it was more than that. That was the first dream I've ever had. Oh wow! So last year I didn't actually have to sleep, and even in the human realm, I never dreamed when I slept. So for the very first time in my life, I had a dream. Oh, I wonder if that's why she slept so long. I sat up and stretched. It took me a second to realize I didn't recognize the room I was in. You're in Alan's weird decorated room. Huh? Where am I?
おはよ
Good morning,
う。よう
sleepyhead.
やく
Finally
起きた
awake,
か。
I see. As he spoke, Alan seemed to mesmerize from out of nowhere. Seeing him brought back the memory of what happened last night. That's right, Alan is the reason I had that dream. A demon that devours dreams. A dream brought to me by an incubus.
どう
So, do you finally
イン
understand the
キュバス
power of
の
an
力。
incubus? Yes, it was amazing.
は
Huh? Ah, that was not the reaction he wanted. Dreams truly are wonderful, aren't they? Thank you so much for showing me. Since I'm a goddess, I've never actually dreamed before. It's shocking just how incredible it felt.
イン
Well,
キ
a
ュバ
dream
スの
from an
見せる
incubus
夢
isn't
と
exactly the
一
same as a
般
normal
的な
dream,
夢は
you
違
know?
うんだけど。と
Really?
いうか
To be
俺と
honest,
し
I
ては
meant
危
for you
機
to feel
感を持って
afraid,
もら
feel
いた
like
かっ
you were
た
in
んだけ
danger. He sighed sadly. Suddenly, Alan pushed me back down and said,
ど。ところで
So, who appeared in this dream of
君の
yours?
夢に出てきたのはどんな男だった
Huh?
ギル
Was it Gil,
Shelby?
Shelby, maybe Fool or
それ
Evie,
ともラウレや
or
ケイサイ
was
ン
it
か
someone else entirely? No, none of them. Actually, it was someone I've never seen before.
初めて見た
Someone you've
人
never seen? How strange. The whole point is it's supposed to be someone you
今まで
know.
あった
He had kind of a gentle vibe. His hair was blonde, and he had wings, I think. Uh-oh. Alan started to tremble, and his gaze turned cold. A sense of anger flickered in his eyes, and his smile was tinged with misery.
へえ
I see.
そうなんだ
Huh? I felt his hand move, and suddenly he was covering my eyes. He forced my hand onto my head, and then pinned them where there was a single
それ
arm.
は悪い
That's
夢
a
だ
very
ね
bad dream indeed. I guess I'll
修
just have to
正し
fix
てあげ
it.
ないと
He's reacting kind of strongly. What? This isn't a dream, and you aren't Gil. I kicked my feet up as hard as I could. Alan deserved that. Wholeheartedly. Finally, I regained my vision. I quickly sat up. Alan was doubled over in front of me, his hands on his crotch. I shouldn't be laughing, but he deserved it.
な
Why'd
んて
you
こ
do
とをし
that?
てくれるんだ
Every guy's weak
言
spot.
葉の大切なと
That's
こ
why
ろ
she did it. It's not like that was my intent. I couldn't see anything, so I just kicked out as hard as I could. Okay, that's fair. You only have yourself to blame now.
俺は悪
I'm
魔
a
なん
demon. It's
だ
my job to tempt people. Well, why'd you have to use Gil's voice of all people?
キューピッドの
I
物
was
ま
trying to
ね
be
さ
a Cupid in my own way. With a grin, Alan licked his lip. It sounded like he was trying to use some perverted version of his matchmaking in order to devour the delicious dream. I won't let that slide. Cupid doesn't play awful tricks like that.
そう
Really? It all seems pretty
こんなも
similar
ん
to
だと
me. No, that's not. Interrupting me, Alan put a hand on my chin and raised my head up. I was frozen in place like a frog being hypnotized by a snake's smooth stare.
ところで
So, now do you understand just how
悪魔
terrifying
の
the
恐ろ
demons
しさ
are? Demons are supposed to be scary?
声真似なんて
For
打
one
て
thing,
る
I
も
can
の
mimic voices. Greater demons
俺
can
より
even
も上
alter
位
their
の悪魔
appearance.
に悪魔はさ
That's why it's easy for us to
こ
fool
うやって
people
いろん
and
な
feed
人
on their
間を
dreams.
騙し
Of course, some of
人
us
の
do
夢
much
をすべて
worse.
俺みたいな善
You
良
should
な
consider
インキュ
yourself
バス
lucky. Not all incubi are as nice as I am. You nice? How the heck are you nice?
悪い奴に
If
捕まっ
a
たら
really bad drink demon
夢
got its
を
hands
食わ
on
れ
you,
るだけ
you
じゃ
wouldn't
済ま
stop
ない
at
だ
just
ろ
taking your drink, trust me. I'm an
忠
angel in
告するだけ
comparison.
天使みたいなものさだから君も
If you ever run into another
俺以
incubus
外
or
のイ
any
ン
other
キュバス
demon
や
besides
悪魔
me,
に
my
出会っ
advice
た
to
ら
you would be to run the
す
other
ぐ
way.
夢が気持ちいい
Just
からっ
because
て
a dream
感
feels
謝す
good
る
in
な
the
んて
moment,
もっ
that
ての
doesn't
ほ
mean
か
it's
だ
actually a good thing, understand? I blinked in confusion at how serious he'd become all of a sudden. That nasty bewitching light that had consumed his eyes earlier was gone, and he looked at me with genuine concern. The hand that had been gripping my chin tightly was now gently caressing my cheek. Huh? The way he was touching my cheek, it felt like a sensation I'd experienced before. Of course, Ellen had touched me in a teasing way a few times, but this wasn't like that. It was a gesture of sincere concern that I had a vague memory of. But when could something like that have happened? It felt like a long, long time ago. Who could have shown me such a gesture?
話
Hey, are you listening to me?
聞いた
No. Sorry, I'm thinking about a memory long past. Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I heard you. Just watch out for really bad incubi, right?
そうだよ
That's right. If you're
下
not
手すりゃ
careful, they'll take
魂
your
を取
soul.
られ
Don't
るから
ever go
ね
near them. Wait, my soul?
悪魔ってそ
That's
う
just
い
what
う
demons
存在
do,
なんだ
okay?
よ
I see. I had no idea. I made a mental note to remember. I made a mental note to maybe go to the library to do some more research. Are there really that many incubi? When it comes to gods, there isn't more than one type of each, you know? I'm the only Cupid, and there's no other Venus or Mars or anything like that.
そりゃあね
Well, there are plenty of
吐いて
incubi
捨て
out
るほ
there.
ど
Of
いる
course,
さ
most of them aren't nearly as
と言っ
powerful as
て
a
も
god.
とにかく
But either way, just
悪
stay
魔
away
に
from
は
us.
近づくな
Never let your guard down,
無警戒
understand?
な
Right. I understand. For someone who just done something so awful himself, he seemed pretty serious about this whole thing. I just nodded, seemingly satisfied. Alan gave me a gentle smile.
じゃあ朝ごはんに
Anyway,
しよ
why don't we
う
have
君
some
が寝てる
breakfast?
間に
I
下
made
ご
it
しらえをし
while
て
you
おい
were
たん
still
だ
sleeping. He got up and headed for the kitchen. When he was gone, I looked at my phone. It was only 5 in the morning, but I had gone to bed early last night, so I still slept for quite a while. Huh? I opened up my usual app and saw one comment that said, I had such an incredible dream. How can I ever go back to my real boyfriend when he was so much better in my dream? That must be the same woman who had her dream eaten by Alan. I quickly punched in dream as a keyword and a bunch of posts popped up. The dream was better than any real man. I've never felt anything like that. I think my boyfriend isn't enough anymore. All the posts were like this. This incubus and his dreams were obviously causing problems in the real world. This is bad. If people are having dreams like that, reality will definitely stop mattering to them. I was sure about that because I'd experienced it firsthand. As Cupid, I had to be aware of the dangerous powers of the incubus.
お待たせ
Thanks for waiting. Alan came back from the kitchen with breakfast, but there was only enough food for one person. Huh? Is this all for me?
そうだよ
That's right, I don't actually
俺
eat food. Huh?
インキュバスの
I
食
told
事は
you,
夢
incubus
を
feeds
食
on
うことっ
dreams,
て
right?
言っ
So I
た
don't
だ
have
ろ
to eat anything else.
時々怪しまれない
Sometimes
よ
I
うに
have
仕
to
方
in
なく
order
食べ
to avoid
て
suspicion.
それ
But
ら
the
しい
only
感想を言うことはあ
flavor
るけ
I'm
ど
really familiar with is
黒タピオカ以外
tapioca.
味をか
What? I suddenly remembered what had happened on our first date. I recalled the part of our dinner with bubble tea, which has tapioca in it. At the time, I wondered why anyone would want just bubble tea for dinner. I see, as an infant, Alan doesn't need to eat the same thing as humans. When I was in Celestia, I never had to eat anything either, so gods and demons both can go without the human idea of eating. But once I came down here, my body became human. But does tapioca even have that much of a flavor? It seems strange that all the human food, the only thing you could taste is tapioca. During college, Gil cooked all kinds of food for me, so I felt like my taste buds are pretty in line with normal humans. I think some places add sugar to the drink, but the main point is to enjoy the true texture.
いやいや
No,
分か
no,
って
you
な
don't
いね
understand. Sweet, spicy, whatever.
甘いだ
Can't
と
taste
か
any of it. I
辛
have
い
to
だとか
assume
感じた
based
こ
on
とが
human
ないから
reactions.
黒タピオカをあえ
And
て
the
表現
strongest
すると
reaction
した
was
ら
bubble tea, so if I
間
had to
違いな
describe
く
the
酸
tapioca
味だね
balls, they're definitely sour. Huh?
女たちがバブ
When
ル
a
ティー
girl
のストロ
sucks
ー
on
を
the
加え
straw
な
and
がら
their
頬
cheeks
を
suck
すぼ
in,
めてい
the
るだろ
same face people make
あ
with
れ
something
は
sour,
レモ
the
ンみたい
lemon.
なつまりあの反
Every
応か
time I
ら察
see a
する
girl
に
with bubble tea, she makes
黒
that
タ
face.
ピオ
The
カは
tapioca must be
酸味の
sour,
ある
right?
食べ物
Isn't that just the face you make when you suck on a straw? Or something like like those bubble tea basic exercises memes you see on
あの
Instagram.
酸味が
The sour flavor tastes
夢
just
を
like
食
a
った
drink,
時だから黒タピオ
which
カ
is
は
why tapioca is the
人
only
間の
human
食
food
べ
I
物
actually
の中
enjoy.
と言っても
Although it's kind of strange that I
レ
don't
モ
get
ン
the
に
same
は味
reaction
を感じたこと
with
ない
flavor stuff. For some reason, Alan was convinced that tapioca was sour. His taste buds really are totally different. After all, tapioca definitely isn't sour, and you can't learn something tastes just based on some instant reaction. But in that case, the taste of a drink must not be sour either. Is it or sweet?
まそんな
Anyway,
わけ
that's
で
why I
俺は
don't
食
eat,
事を取ら
so
ないん
it's
だ
all yours.
俺は君の夢
Besides,
を
I'm
食
still
った
full
後で
from
満
the
たさ
delicious
れてる
food
し
from here.
ね
Go ahead, dig in. Thank you. At his urging, I looked down at the meal in front of me. After everything he said, I had to work up the courage to start eating. I couldn't help but wonder what kind of food someone who thinks tapioca is sour would make. With a little hesitation, I took a bite of rice. Huh? This is delicious. Despite his inability to actually taste anything, he was actually a really good cook. You'd think those wouldn't go together, but still, the meal was nothing but vegetables, and not that much of them either. I could tell it wouldn't be enough. So Alan, do you only ever eat in order to avoid suspicion?
そう
Human
イ
food
ン
has
キュバス
absolutely
の
no
生命
benefit
維持
for
の
an
ために
incubus.
さっきも言ったけど
I'll eat when
人
I have
間
to in
の
order to
ふり
seem
を
like
す
I'm
る
a
以上
human, but ultimately it's
必
a
要な
complete
場面では
useless act.
栄養にもならな
I
いし
don't gain
味
any
もよくわか
nutrition,
ら
I
ないし
can't taste it, and if
な
I
んな
do
ら
too
太る
much,
要
I'm
因
sure
に
I'd
なる
gain
だけ
weight,
だ
so I avoid it whenever I
だ
can. So you're really not human in any way at all.
言っただろ
Like I said, I'm an
イン
incubus.
パラサイトハウスの間は本当の
I don't
食
eat
事を
any
抑
of
え
my
ていたから
food.
さ
I didn't eat any of
終わ
my
っ
food
た
the
あたり
entire
で
time
飢
after
餓感
Arctic,
に
so
襲
by
われ
the
てね
end of it, I was completely starving.
それで積極的
So
に食って
afterward,
い
I
たら
went to a bit of on a
CC
bit
を
of a
大
binge
会
and
させ
got
られ
myself
た
kicked out of Cupid Court because of
ま
it. So now I need to find
それなら
another
よ
source.
し
Oh, that's right. You caused a whole bunch of memory relationships to fall apart.
それは残念だった
Sorry to hear
ね
that. But if
でも
that's
そ
all
の
it
程
took,
度
it
の愛だ
must
った
have
んだよ
not been too much to their love. No, that's not it at all. It's just that your dreams are so intense.
うーんそうなの
Is that right? Yes, that's right. Recalling the dream I'd had last night, I could feel myself getting nervous all over again. That's how amazing his dreams were. A dream that feels so good you never want it to end. A dream more satisfying than reality, specifically because it's not real. Yeah, I can totally understand how someone might neglect their real life love in favor of that kind of dream world. I decided that it was my duty to minimize the damage it caused from here on. With you. So listen up, Alan. From now on, you can only eat my dreams.
は
Huh? What are you talking
Doi?
about? After a moment, a bewitching smile formed on his lips as if he suddenly realized something.
あ
I see. You had such an incredible dream last night. You don't
あ
want
昨
to
夜
live
の
in
夢
this
が良
reality
すぎ
anymore.
それなら素
Why
直
not
に
just
そう
tell
だ
me
と
directly
言えば
that's
いい
what
の
you
に
want? Is our charming
ア
really
ワー
so
ハニー
shut?
の照れ屋なん
No!
かな
You totally misunderstand her. You totally misunderstood. No, if you keep eating the dreams of women in love, people will stop falling in love altogether, and I can't do my job as Cupid. I'm the god of love, and I can't let gods or demons or anyone go around destroying those connections. I can't expect you to stop eating entirely, so instead I want you to only eat my dreams. That way I can protect everyone's love. Oh, that sigh. He gave me a serious look and shook his head.
それはでき
I'm
ない
afraid I can't do that. Why not? Despite the desperation in my voice, he laughed and gave me a sly look.
恋をしている女の子の夢の方が美味しいだから
So I hope you fall in love. Then
そう
I'd be
だ
happy
な
to share. What? But what if he falls in love with you? How would that work? Because then I technically wouldn't be sharing. You'd be eating the dream of the girl that loves you. Oh wow, that makes my head hurt. Before I found out he wasn't into this, I thought maybe he'd gone through some kind of trauma.
おいアラン・メルビル出てこい
Uh-oh. I heard banging on the door from outside.
いるのは分かってる
I
んだ
know you're in there. Get your miserable ass out here.
ああ
This
ま
again? Again, don't tell me. I had flashbacks of a call I'd gotten from a man claiming his woman had been stolen from him. Did you seriously steal another girl?
人聞き悪
How
い
could
な
you even think that? We
食
just
事を
had
しただ
dinner.
けだよ
So you did. You stole away another woman in love.
でも俺の
It's
正
just in my
解だ
nature, you know? You can't really
文句を
complain
言わ
about
れる
someone
筋
following
合い
their
はないね
instincts. Alan just shrugged his shoulder and looked
に
downstairs.
しても
Going around yelling
こ
early in
ん
the
な
morning
早
is
朝に
very
わめいた
polite.
ら
I'll go
近
take
所迷
care of
惑
it.
じゃないか
You just finish your breakfast. I really don't know what to make of him. Waving a relaxed hand at me, Alan headed downstairs into the store. I I quickly finished off the last of my breakfast and followed him down. I love his theme song.
ほら
Okay,
俺
okay,
は
stop
逃げ
yelling.
も
It's
隠
not
れ
like
も
I'm
し
going
ない
一
anywhere.
発殴ら
I'm
せ
gonna
ろ
kick your ass. Hi. Alan was immediately greeted with a powerful blow. The man struck him with so much force, Alan went flying into the store counter.
よくも俺のワイフ
Thieving
に手を
bastard,
出
how
した
dare you lay your
なア
filthy
ランメ
hands
ル
on
ビ
my
ル
wife? The man's face was bright red, but Alan's expression was unchanged.
あああんた
You must
は
be the guy from the
隣
apartment
のア
next
パ
door.
ートでも誤解だ
But
よ
you're mistaken. I never laid a
俺
finger
は
on
あ
your
ん
wife.
たの嫁に
There's
指一
been
本
no
触れてな
infidelity
い
here. That's
そんな
bullshit. Ever
バ
since
カな
you
話
invited
が
her
あ
to
る
your
か
little bachelor
お前
pad,
の
she
家に
doesn't
連
want
れ込まれ
anything
て
to
か
do with.
ら
俺は
I didn't
家
invite
に
her
なんて
anyway.
連
Simply
れ込んで
recommended
ない
her
よ
a pillow from next door.
拒絶されるの
If
は
she's
多
rejecting
分
you,
あん
you
たの
have
せいだ
nobody to
ね
blame but yourself.
あ
If
ん
her
た
dreams
が
are
テ
better,
ク
then
ニシ
you
ャン
must
じゃ
not
な
be
いか
worthy.
バカなことを言う
Don't
な
play stupid with me. Another blow and Alan flew backwards again. Alan wasn't making any attempt to stop the man from hitting him. He just wiped blood from his split lip and looked at him smiling. His eyes were calm, empty. No matter how many times the man hit him, Alan would clearly never apologize for what he done. The man seemed to sense this and took a nervous step back. Anyway, I hope you learned your lesson. The man fled from the store just as quickly as Peter arrived. He slammed the door angrily behind him, and I flinched back nervously. That was so scary. Are you okay? Alan looked just the same as ever, calm and collected with a placid smile on
い
his
つも
face.
のことだ
That
か
kind
ら
of
ね
thing happens all the time, but I appreciate your concern.
心配してくれてあり
I
が
want to know why he says R. It happens all the time. My first impulse was to yell at him, but the fact is I was worried about his cut lip and swelling face. I'm sure he could have avoided those punches if he really wanted to. Alan was taller and probably a lot stronger than the guy who came after him, and yet he just stood there and let it happen. Probably because he knew it would make the guy feel better. I guess that's how you have to get by when you're a demon. Still, I was sure he was in pain. Let me see where he hit you. Where's your first aid kit?
は
Huh? It's over there on the shelf. Good, now sit down and let me patch you up. I grabbed the first aid kit and started to take care of him. Jeez, this cut is really deep. Are you sure you're okay?
あ
Yeah, I mean, I guess. He looked confused and a little troubled. I'm sure he wasn't expecting to get this kind of special attention.
君は
I thought you were mad
怒
at
って
me.
る
I am, but that has nothing to do with this. I can't just ignore someone who's in pain. As I continued to work on him without hesitation, Alan frowned at me.
えち
Ow, hey, you're being a little
ょっ
rough,
と
don't you
乱暴
think?
じゃない
You deserved the beating you got, so just deal with it. Now hold still.
殴られるよう
I
な
deserved
こ
it,
と
but I was
ね
just trying to give her a good night's
俺
sleep. These dreams of yours are better than reality, you know? Can't you ease off a little bit?
君は美味しい
You
料
were
理
able
の
to
作り
make
方を知
incredible
ってい
food.
るの
Would you
に
go out of your
手
way
加
to
減
make
して
food
わざ
bad?
と
I would if my food was bad for the rest of the world. His total lack of remorse made me mad all over again. I applied the cut ointment without mercy, then checked his back and hips for bruises where he'd hit the counter. I'm sure you don't want more guys coming in here with scores to settle, do you?
ま
Obviously, I
恨まれな
prefer
いに
that,
越
but
し
at
た
this
ことは
point,
な
I'm
い
going
け
to live
ど
with it.
悪魔の奴ら
I
に
know
は
demons that have
俺
done
よ
way
りずっ
worse
と
things
ひどい
than
ことを
me.
してるのもいる
Relatively speaking, one of the good ones. A good one, huh? After all the women you've stolen? I just don't understand it.
そりゃ
That's because in the
君は
world
理
you live
解し
in,
な
you
くて
don't
いい
have
世
to
界でいい
understand. His tone seemed suddenly cold. His tone had suddenly turned cold, and he stood up before I was finished. Hey, wait, I'm not finished.
十分だよ
You've done enough.
普段は
Usually
手
I
当て
don't
す
need
らし
any
ない
kind
か
of
ら
treatment at all. Huh?
言ったでしょ
I'm a demon, remember? Whatever
俺
injured,
は
I
悪魔
get
なん
heal
だ
faster than any humans.
だから
So
手
you
当て
really
なん
don't
てし
have
な
to
くてい
be
い
doing any of this. I don't need it. With a bitter tone and a look of self-loathing, Alan walked away. He doesn't need it. Alan, incubus, he always has some justification for what he does. But could it be that he really doesn't want to do it? He was putting back the chairs and other items he scattered when he got knocked around. He was facing away from me, so I had no idea what look was on his face. But even so, I had a distinct sense of loneliness. I kind of regretted placing so much blame on him. You could always apologize if you feel bad. However, he kicked you out. You're leaving? Yes,
ご
I'm
めん
very
なさ
sorry,
い。
but all of a sudden I
なん
just
だ
don't
か
care about
急に
marriage
婚
anymore. If you don't mind, may I
う
ask why?
ー
I
ん。
decided it would be better to
や
get
っ
a
ぱ
pillow to
婚
keep
活
me
より
company
も
instead of continuing to look
枕
for a partner. A pillow. Could it be?
知ってます？
There's a
9
store
番
on
街
my
の
app
ラグ
called
ジュア
Pillow
リーピロー
Luxury.
で
If
買
you
っ
get
た
a pillow
枕で
from
寝ると
there, you'll have the
最
most amazing
高。
dreams. I knew it.
夢っていいですよね。
Dreams are so wonderful. They
裏
never
切らな
betray
いし
you, and they always show you
最高の状
at
態を
your
見せ
most
てそれに
your
比
very
べて
best.
現実
Compared to
は
that, reality is just pennies.
あ
My last dozen blind dates
お
have
見
been
合いパ
complete
ーティ
failures. I'm sorry, I guess I wasn't much help.
ーいやいいです。
No, no,
アド
it's
バイザー
fine.
さ
I
ん
know
は
you
頑張っ
did
て
your
くれ
best.
てました
After
から。
all, this is the reality we
所
live in,
詮
right?
そうこん
But
な
at
世
the
の
end
中
of
よ
the
りも
day,
夢
I'd
です
rather
よ
trade
夢。
in my reality for a lovely
な
dream.
ので私はこれから
Oh my gosh, this
夢
reminds
に行
me
きます。
of
ということで
a webcomic
今
I'm
日付けで
reading.
大会処分よろしくお願いします。
Oh, what's it called? I don't remember the name of it right now. Eternal. Anyways, this guy is a dream leader, and the girl that he's in love with, he was visiting her in her dreams, eating her dreams, and he learned that that was really dangerous, so he stopped. Anyways, it made me think of that. So that's what I'm gonna do from now on. Thank you for everything you've done, but I'm canceling over to Beth instead. That happened not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. Oh, yikes. Ouch. Sitting there by myself, I dropped my head in my hands. And one day we lost 3 members, all women. The reason was that dreams are better, and they'd all brought pillows from Pillow Luxuria, of course. What am I going to do? They'd all brought pillows for the same place, so there could only be one reason behind all this. A demon that feeds on their dreams about his but there was no doubt that it was Ellen. What is Enigma's really? Did they really have no choice but to feed some dreams to survive? I was curious, so I did a quick research on my phone. Everything I found pretty much said the same thing. Enigma is a specific type of creature, a demon that feeds on dreams. If that's the best the internet has to offer, I'll just have to do some research of my own. Luckily, I had the following day off. I decided to head to the university library and look for more specialized literature. Oh, that's right. Los Angeles University also has a professor of mythology. Maybe I'll get in touch and set up an appointment. When I was in school, I took a mythology class. My old resume should have had his contact info on it. I decided to send him an email as soon as I got home. With that settled, I focused on finishing the rest of my tasks for the day with hopes of helping my remaining members get married. Hopefully no more quit. Oh, that would suck.
さてと
Okay, but can we just take a moment to appreciate him with long hair and his pointed ears? That's all. He needs a shirt, though. Now then. That evening, I was searching for my next meal. I was looking down on humanity from the top of a tall building, scouring the city for a woman in love to devour dreams in.
恋をしている
A
顔
woman in love. Ah, she might be a good fit. Is that like... Whatever. I spotted a woman sitting alone outside a cafe drinking coffee. I'm sure she might be in love. Her dream would probably be sour and a little spicy with a rich aftertaste. I wouldn't describe it as sour. I think he thinks sweetness is sour.
早く
I hope she can become
あ
like
の
that
子にもあ
soon
の顔
too.
つきになってもらいたいんだけど
Again, like what if she falls in love with you? Then what? Katie, she just completely refused to fall in love. I wanted her to fall in love as soon as possible, but no matter what I did, there was no sign of that happening. As soon as I thought of her, I suddenly lost my appetite and started to sigh.
食事より
But
も
I bet you he doesn't.
あの
I
問
bet
題を
you
な
he
んとか
wants
し
her
な
to
い
fall
と
in love so he can get Cupid's bow. Because if she falls in love with Cupid, she loses her bow. I need to take care of this problem before I cease. I decided I'd let the other parasite five take up falling in love with her and seducing her.
けどあいつら
But
多
they're
く
not
て
very
るし
good at it, and some of them aren't interested in love in the first place. For Yuki. Shelby, I think he's interested, but I'm not sure. Gil's definitely interested. Rule is not interested, like, at all. While we were in the parasite house, I was constantly working behind the scenes to get them to fall in love with her. For example, I worked together with a workshop instructor behind the scenes to have her go on those mock dates. And I planted the ideas for the agency guide to take pictures that would make her look like she was Shelby's wife. I even snuck into Lost River TV studio to try and get the Parasite House project off the ground. And of course, I did everything I could to make sure no female members would move into the house. I lived in the house, went on the dates that I had to, and I have absolutely nothing to show for it. Nobody made any moves. Nothing happened to make her care about any of the other guys at all.
普通男と一つ屋根の下で暮らせば誰かしらといい雰囲気になるはずだ
I
ろ
mean,
う
maybe, not necessarily, but my plan was a total failure. She was a much tougher nut to crack than I expected. I wanted her to hurry up and fall in love so she could get rid of that damn foe of hers.
この間ギルのふりを
I
して
didn't
も
get the reaction I
全
was
くの
hoping for
脈なし
when
だ
I
ったか
pretended to be ill, so maybe next time I'll try
次はし
Shelby. I mean, I don't think that's gonna work either. So that's not. I could sneak into his office and make it so that he'll have to take notice of her. And once the seed was planted, I could ask one of my succubus friends to make him dream about her. Incubi and succubi, demons that can take the form of whatever the dreamer truly desires. Wow, this game is so mythology heavy. As demons can make matches by pretending to be their object of desires in a dream and make them fall in love.
本当
To
は
be honest, I wish
俺
I
が
could
できれば
handle
いい
all
ん
of
だ
this
けどな
myself. But an incubus simply isn't able to enter a man's dream. It was frustrating, but I had to rely on my fellow
と
succubi.
にかくシェル
Anyway,
ビ
I
ー
just
に
need to
恋
find
を
a way
さ
to
せよ
make Shelby fall in love with her. Then
う
I'll
食
have
事
my
はそれ
He has wings? Wait, no! Hold on! Time out! First, I would just arrange his schedule so that he'd have to meet with Kitty. If I could make them think I've been seeing a lot of them, they could definitely lead to victory. So I snuck into Mr. President's office, but there was absolutely no room in his schedule. He was a workaholic and slept only 4 hours every day. I had to give up on that plan. I figured he would have to. Yeah. The next day, after setting up an appointment, I had come to see Professor Giordano, who was teaching a mythology class. So actually, I was hoping to talk to you about incubi.
イン
You're
キュバスについてか
interested in incubi specifically?
サキュバ
No
スはいいのかね
succubi?
女の夢を食べるのがインキュ
Incubus
バス
eats a woman's dreams, while
男
succubi
の
eats
夢を
a
食べるのが
demon.
サキュバ
Both
スだ
are demons, of course. Oh, really? So an incubus can only eat a woman's dream?
ああ
That's
そ
right.
れは
That must be why all those people members quit. Well, for now, can you tell me more about incubi? Of course.
と
To
い
be
って
honest,
も
the only
イ
real
ンキュバスも
difference
サキュバス
between
も
incubi and
性
succubi
別
is
ど
their
ちら
gender.
も人間の夢の
They
中
both
に
make
現
human
れて
pleasure in order to
快
achieve
楽
their
を与え
dreams.
て
They both
夢を
appear
食べる
as
悪
the
魔だ
first
そ
idolized
してど
partner. Idolized?
ああ
Indeed,
その
in
方
order
が
to
よ
bring
り
many
多くの
more
快
pleasure
楽を
dreams
だから姿形の
That's
記
why
述
there
は
are
残
no
っていない
descriptions
人によって見え方が
for their
違う
appearance
からだ
because they appear differently to everyone. If an incubus were to eat your dreams, would it affect reality in any way? It depends on
そ
the
れ
lore
は
being
伝承によるな
Sometimes it's a dream eater,
た
but
だ夢
sometimes
を食われるだけ
there's
と
a
いう
real
場合
harm.
もあるし
There's real harm involved. Real
基本
harm.
的に
An
インキュバス
incubus
は
is
人
demon
間を
that
堕
leads
落の
on
道
a
へ
path
引き
of
込む悪
gravity.
魔だ
Essentially, they love the art
人
of
が
seduction.
実際の肉体に
Some
変化を及ぼ
contacts
す
say
陰謀
that
もい
they
ると
can actually
い
change
くつかの
the
文献
body.
には残っているな
Some have even been
寝
known
てい
to
る間に
impregnate the
子を
victim
はらませられ
sexually.
たとかなだ
What?
が
But it's
これも
probably
ま
just
た
another
不義
story
密
designed
通
to
をごま
cover
か
up
すために
adultery.
作られたエピソードだろう
Not much evidence to be
根拠
honest.
そもそもインキュバスの
Other
伝承が
texts
できたの
claim
も
that the lore
禁欲
was
主義の
meant to
盛んだっ
cover
た
up
時代
cases
に
of
無
nocturnal
性の理由
condition
付けに考
the
え
day
ら
of.
れたものだという説もある実際に悪魔はいるのかいないのか
Oh, but do demons actually
そこも
exist
含
or
めて
no?
議
I
論
think
する
that's
ことが
certainly worth
望ましい
discussing.
だろうな
Well, there really are demons though. As I left Professor Giordano, I was alone in the courtyard thinking about what I had just heard. An incubus appears in the form of an idle person. That's my idol? Didn't hit me at all. Seeing him didn't make me feel nervous or dreamy. What I did was definitely amazing, but he's not really my type. The professor said I should consider the reasons for the Lord's against our historical background. So after I parted with the professor, I went to the library to borrow some books. I'm going to read every book I can find on demons. However, I took a quick look at the book I just checked out, but nothing was satisfying. All of the demons are depicted as their form with frightening appearance. I've never seen anything like it. It looks a a little bit like the mediocre that we have at Celestia. Manticore that we have at Celestia. Cubis is a demon, but Alan is very different from the demon here. I flipped through the pages and read the stories of what he said. The story of a man who made a pact with a demon to resurrect the dead, and the story of a man who tried to become a millionaire. All of these chapters are quite disturbing. One spoke of a demon that awaited you at the gates of then stole your soul. So this is God. That's why it's easy
こ
for
うや
us
っていろんな
to
人
fool
間を
people
騙し
beyond the dream. For
人
some
の
of us,
夢や
it's
勢
different
力
words.
俺みたいな善良なインキュバ
I
ス
wonder more of Alan's true
Amazing.
story.
悪いやつに捕まった
That's just like your gut. Good incubus. But from a Cupid's point of view, any incubus that gets in the way of love is
悪
bad.
魔面
Oh,
白い
it's
本
Rule.
読んでる
Demon,
ね
you're reading an interesting book. I looked up and Rule was there. Huh? Why are you here?
今日は神話
We were
討論
just
会で来てた
discussing
ん
the
だ
similarities
ちょう
between
ど
God, so
悪
if
魔と
you're
神の
interested,
類似
I
点に
should have
ついて
invited
討
you
論して
too. Mythology debate. Demon talk? Demons are supposed to be different from gods, so why do we talk about them in a mythology debate? Are demons like gods? As I tilted my head, Rule snatched the book I was holding and started reading.
俺はそう思
I
ってる
think
よ
so. There is a god
例えば
similar to an
インキュ
incubus
バスと
called
よく
the
似た神もいるしね
Baku,
バ
and
ク
it
っ
eats
て言
dreams
うん
to
だけ
ward
ど
off sickness and
夢
bad luck.
他にも神
There
と
are
悪
other
魔で似通った記述は結構多いんだ
king of hell, as
地獄の王サタンルシファーなんて元天使
They're
だ
the
し
same,
だから
just
悪魔
like
もまた
different
神
names.
と言っていいんじゃないかなまあ
Well, I'm
俺
pretty
が
sure
思う
Satan
サ
is
タンは
not an
絶
archangel.
対
It's
に
horrible
元
to
天使じゃ
think
ない
about it. Rule returns the book to me and walks away. What Rule thinks of Satan is probably a raw oyster. Oh, yeah, true. He was shivering and shaking from his memories of raw oysters. Looked then at the open page of the book. But according to Rule, there's also a god who eats dreams. And he also says that Satan was from an angel, right? I checked out the section of Satan's whisper. It was written that an angel who thought he was worthy of being God rebelled and incurred God's wrath and was cast to hell. I didn't know there were angels like that. Angels are the ones in heaven, right? Below Celestia, where God dwells, lies heaven, home of the angels. I've never been there since only the 12 Olympians go to heaven. Interesting. But there are demons who are angels, and some demons have the same powers as gods. Perhaps the gods that do good things are called gods, and the gods that commit evil are called demons. Heck, that could be called a Mars, the god of war. Dad's stories aren't necessarily always good for humans. Demons. As I flipped through the pages, my eyes caught a demon called Sulfur? Not a matchmaking demon? The book said it was a demon that caused love between a man and women. They basically lie, but if you summon them in a magic circle, they'll tell you the truth. Ew. So some demons do good things. No. No. I would say there's probably a price to pay for that. I'm getting more and more confused. I took another look at the pile of books I had borrowed. There was one book mixed in that had nothing to do with demons. Huh? The book on misogyny. I must have borrowed it from mistake. The book was called Greek Myths Love Episodes. I was so curious I had to read it. It was about dad and mom's love story, Jupiter's love story, and Cupid's love story. Cupid's love, huh? It says that Cupid accidentally wounded his own finger with an arrow and fell in love with Psyche, a human being. Of course, I never for such an episode. So weird. Cupid would never hurt her own finger with an arrow. I would never screw up like that, and I don't know who Psyche is. What if we used to be Psyche, and the reason we became Cupid is because Alan, who used to be Cupid, pricked his finger, fell in love with us, fell, and was no longer Cupid, and we took over. That's a far-fetched theory, but it is a theory. It must be a story that humans made up on their own, otherwise there's no explanation. I closed the book and left for the university. A few days later, I caught a glimpse of the daily lives of the parasites I sighed deeply.
何なんだ
What is wrong with them? The likelihood of any of them falling in love with Katie was infinitely low, except for Gil. Rule Acton, for one reason or another, found himself unsuitable for serious love. Ryuki was no longer aware of her existence, perhaps because his work was no longer relevant with her.
そしてシェル
And
ビー
Shelby
は
gave up
婚
on
活を
marriage. He
断
said he
念
would live for work. I remember being horrified at the sight of Shelby's working life working like a madman.
オーベンは
I think
別の
Owen
女
was
の子
in
に
love with
恋
another
してたね
girl. Gil was the only hope. The best thing to do is to somehow try to get him closer to her.
でもギルは
But
ギ
Gil
ル
said he
で
wouldn't see her
彼女に
until
ふさわし
he
い
was
男
worthy
に
of
なる
her. It's true that if Gil were to confess his feelings to her now, he would be shattered. The problem was on her end.
せめ
If only
て
it could look like
夢
Gil
の
in
中
her
の
dreams.
俺がギル
I
の
mean,
姿
bruh,
に
good
な
luck.
れれば
That so isn't happening. That way, I could seduce her to my heart's content. Who she saw in her dream was not Gil, Shelby, or Rule. I believe she said he was a blonde guy.
他に
Is there any man
彼女と親しい男はいない
Thinking of people around her, I shook my head. Her coworkers, her neighbors, she didn't seem to be aware of them at all. So far, the only guys she talked to were the four guys from Parasite 5. As Cupid, she can't abandon the Parasite 5 and must be concerned about them. But it's not love, it's just work.
あの子
She's a workaholic
仕事
too.
人間だもんな
Yeah, this is true. So, no office romance occurred. Her male colleagues even looked at her with a kind of in awe. By human standards, she could be considered a try-hard who is obsessed with promotion. So she's not a love interest at all, making Gil the only choice. Next time I see her, I'll try to talk to her and steer her attention towards Gil.
頼むよギ
Please,
ル
Gil.
君にかかっている
Alan, that is not gonna work, my dude. But I knew Gil would come into play for that reason. If I fail now, there's nothing else that can be done. That's how few options she has in terms of love interest. Make her fall in love with you. Problem solved. Then, a few days later, staff members from the advisor section were talking
最
together.
近
Recently,
現
there's
実が
people
どう
quitting
でも
saying
いい
that
から
reality doesn't matter
なん
anymore.
て
You remember
こうい
too?
うの今までもあ
I've
っ
had
た
this
わ
happen before. The
理由
reason
は
was
ドラマの
characters
登
in
場人
dramas
物
are
の方
better.
俳優マニア
It's
ってや
called
つね
actor
でも今回のは
Mana,
妙よ
but this
み
one's
んな
weird.
夢
Everyone
がいい
says
って言うん
they
だもの
prefer
現
dreams.
実よりも
A
いい
dream's
夢
better than reality. I'd like to have a dream like that too.
私だって
Is
み
that
夢
good? Dream, huh? I wonder if it's some kind of secret word,
な
like
ん
for
か
a
の
club
隠
or
語なのか
drugs. Isn't it simply dreams you have when you
ま
sleep?
さか
No way. It's
本
not
物の
normal
夢
for
の方
people
が
to
現
think that
実よ
dreams
り
are
いい
better
なん
than
て人
reality.
間
It's
普
not
通はいないわ
magic.
だから気になる
I'm
のよ
curious.
ね
Is dream better than reality? That's why more and more female members are quitting. Gee, what should we do?
き
I'm so glad we get to see Chi in this route. Chi, do you know of demons called Cubi?
ち
She tilted his head and looked up. That moment, the door opened.
じゃあ私
I'm
出かけ
going
て
out.
くる
Good
から
night. I wonder if Clarice is a succubi. I never thought about it. Another night out? Without replying, Clarice puts her finger to her lips and winked. Then she left the room, waving her hands in the air. A few moments later, I heard the front door close. She's gone. Clarice is like this almost every day. She seems to be coming out with a lot of men. Clarice doesn't fall in love, and our members say they prefer drinks. Cupid needs to work hard. I mean, you could just use your bow. Cupid, the god of love, I have a weapon that even the gods fear. With this, I'm not afraid of demons. I'm a god and I have to fight an incubus, a demon. I must, in order to prevent this bizarre phenomenon from ruining Cupid's corrupt reputation. Humans don't believe in either gods or demons, but it's the duty of gods to protect humans. Human hands make human bonds. As long as it doesn't have anything to do with that goal, I can use my arrow, right? I'm worried about. I'm worried about the jamming method that my aunt used might wear off, but I could sneak back to Celestia to have it fixed again. I took my finger off the necklace and instead grabbed Chi.
ち
Then, as usual, I used Chi as a massager. Poor Chi. And with that, we're gonna end episode 3. Next, we're gonna do Cupid in Love. This is such an interesting game. And I can't wait to see what happens. As always, remember to eat some food, get some sleep, and drink some water because you are important. So is your health, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye bye!